Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the StarCraft 2 World Championship Series. We're live here in Valencia, Spain. And what could be spicier than our next best of 5 coming up? I am Nathanius, joined on the desk by Todd and Maynard, 2 expert specialists in aggressive early game strategies. Maynard, we've seen Haas Fever take over this venue and this tournament. How do we calm things down? Can we?
Well, as a sufferer of that particular affliction myself, Nate, when I find out, I'll let you know, because I am feeling the fever. I don't know if it's a genuine sickness or excitement, probably a mixture of the two.
You're excited.
I'm excited, definitely. Now, I don't know why they keep putting me on, I don't know if you guys noticed at home, but they keep putting me on this desk for Haas series. What do I say? What do I say about Haas series? He's going to be weird, guys, all right? He's going to be weird. There's going to be lots of proxy pylons.
You're the one that lives the closest to him compared to us.
That's
why.
Yeah, okay. That's why I should be here.
That's a little bit of a stretch. Todd, as just like Maynard, you really belong up here because you are known as a professional cannon rusher. And by that, I mean, I don't think I've ever seen you do it.
Yeah.
When you go into a series like this as ShoWTimE, has this happened to you in your pro career? Have you had a situation like this where you're playing a clown?
Okay. So, we've seen a lot of cheese coming out of Haas, but mostly against Zerg and Terran, right? Did you really think that as Protoss, the most cheesable race is Terran or Zerg? Well, actually, it might be Zerg, but in PvP,
yeah,
things could get crazy. Cannon rushes are good, proxies are good, almost any tech is good as a cheese. Sky's the limit in terms of what's potentially available.
Sky's the limit? Will we see the air units too then?
Hey, for sure.
Nate.
Got him.
But no, honestly, things might get crazier than they've been.
All right.
I feel like I need to warn everybody. And by the way, Haas currently, keep that open please, the circuit standings. Currently in 10th position in the circuit standings. If he wins that match, I think he moves in 7th position.
Ooh.
So he's gunning for those global finals. He wants to give us more cheeses there against the Korean players.
And man, what a crazy turn of events it has been. And what a crazy road to the semifinals it's been. Let's catch up to speed on how these players got here.
Starting to get taken out.
Oh my god, these disruptors connect big time here. ShoWTimE reinforcing with the War Prism. 3-3's on the way.
I didn't think at all I would get this far because in Austin I lost in the group stages. Feels amazing to be in the Runner 4 now.
That hatchery goes down, so does the game for Nurchio. He's got to fight here and now, but the positioning's so bad. The hatchery does end up dying, and all of a sudden has options. That's just it. GG, Nurchio's out of here. Has.
我觉得很开心。
Haas is a very tricky player, very unorthodox. He has very unusual strategies, which makes him really hard to face. Haas, good luck with your lens, but they call me Dimauer for a reason, so.
如果我运气特别好的话，我会把它上比例。
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the World Championship Series. ShoWTimE, unsurprisingly expecting a bit of aggression from his opponent. Haas has a pedigree to try to attack his enemies early on. I guess we could probably say that's what's going to happen today.
Wow, good read from ShoWTimE. He's really prepared for his opponent. PvP here is a bit of a funny matchup. Todd kind of touched on it a bit before. I feel like the bag of tricks gets even deeper in this matchup.
Oh, yeah.
The cannon rushes are sometimes even more powerful. Lost and Found's one of those maps where you can actually just kill your opponent with that kind of thing. Proxy robos, even more powerful. Void Rays.
You're getting me all
you getting
warmed
wiggly
up
and jiggly?
now,
Oh yeah.
Maynard.
You know, against Zerg, when Protoss cannon rushes, a lot of the time there's a lot of suspense. You know, you're not sure whether it's gonna work, and then sometimes when it works, you're like, okay, well, Zerg will transition, they will take that, they will get roaches. In PvP, a lot of the times, the first 3 pylons go down, and we're lucky we have Jeff and Roddy casting it. They'll tell you immediately, they're like, okay, no, this is over.
Okay.
This is gonna work, and he's dead. So, yeah.
All right, we can dive into it a little bit more, but we're ready to bring the players out onto the stage. It's time to introduce our second set of semifinalists.
Thank you very much, Nathanias, for our second semifinal match. I want to talk to you guys in the audience. Hola, Valencia! Who here is cheering for ShoWTimE? Now, who's cheering for Haas? Let's get our second semifinal match underway. It is ShoWTimE and Haas.
Man versus cheese in our second semifinal. A lot of people packed into the crowd to watch this one. The Leipzig runner-up, the player he just talked about, it did not get far at all in Austin, but ShoWTimE is back with a vengeance, and he is hungry for that final reappearance. But Haas, the player that has been discounted every step of the way, and is just a single match away from a grand finals. This is as far as he's been in WCS, and he's, I mean, I don't know. The expectations are nuts. Apparently, Twitch chat, they want the cheese to...
Of course they do.
Okay.
Bless you, Twitch chat, never change. Of course they want this madman to come through. Yeah, you touched on it, Nate. It's already his best tournament ever, so I couldn't be happier for Haas. It's fantastic these styles working. You cannot say it's not entertaining.
Oh.
It is,
yeah.
It is an absolute blast and a treat to watch as a fan and as a viewer, but as a player, I feel so sorry for ShoWTimE.
I love watching people do these strategies, Todd, but God, I hate playing against them, and I feel really bad when I lose.
I watched the stream.
Yeah.
We know all about it.
Again, yes.
You know, the quality of my afternoon is it's countermeasured by the amount of shield batteries put in my natural expansion, so I wonder if that'll hold true here for ShoWTimE.
I do hope we see a good variety of different builds, and I feel like it might be the case. You know, he will be trying different stuff from map to map, whether it's a proxy Stargate, a cannon rush here and there, maybe a proxy robo. ShoWTimE's gonna have to be the one on point with the scouting and reacting.
Okay, well, let's see how well he scouts and reacts. Ladies and gentlemen, our second semifinal is about to be underway. It's time for ShoWTimE versus Haas.
Thank you very much, Nathanias. We have our last semifinal coming up to face Cyril in his rightful place, looking to go for a three-peat this year and continue to be the monster. We have an actual anime match here, Rotterdam. We've got the handsome, gigantic slab of muscle that is Mr. ShoWTimE taking on the unsuspecting, kind of quiet, kind of, you know, the underdog, who's just kind of found a way to get here. And if he can topple one more tyrant, he'll be in second place at least. But he'll be challenging Cyril. Can you believe this?
No, I actually cannot believe it, but I'm so freaking excited for this best of 5. Jeff, I know you have your fair share of experience with cannons. I know you're not the biggest cannon rusher in PvP. I'm not going to give you that label, but you definitely are a cannon expert. And I can only assume we're going to see a whole bunch of cannons and a whole bunch of Stargates from Haas. Other than that, I have no idea how is he going to try to break the wall that is ShoWTimE. But I just want to give one more quick mention to the road that Haas has had to get here. He took out Elaser and Special in the group stage, both players that made it into the global finals last year. That is top 8 WCS circuit over the entire year. Then he took out Kalazur in the round of 16, also a player that made it to the global finals. And in the quarterfinals, he took out Nurcho. Guess what, Jeff? Also a player. He took out 4 guys that finished in the top 8 of the WCS circuit last year. You cannot really say it was luck because you cannot get lucky that many times in a row.
Not in StarCraft.
But the run has been crazy, man. It's just so unexpected. Haas has been around for a long time and everyone loved him in the early days, and then at one point it was like, oh yeah, it's Haas. Herpy derp, it's gonna be something weird, and then he loses. Well, not anymore apparently.
Nope, it's going to be weird, herpy derp, and then he wins a lot of the time. Well, let's see if he can keep it going in the top left-hand side from Germany. It is ShoWTimE!
Die Mauer. ShoWTimE, of course, looking for his revenge of that Leipzig final that he lost against Cyril. But this man wants to make his first final appearance ever. He has surprised everyone so far. It is Haas.
going to say it would have been funny because I think one of the hardest parts about facing a cannon rusher, even if you know it's coming, they show up with like an early probe scout, drop a pylon or look like they want to drop a pylon, then you have to pull 2 or 3 of your own probes. You have to be worried about your building placement. But in this case, Haz is not even going to threaten it. The probe scout that's coming out is from ShoWTimE. It's Haz who's going for 0 map presence right now. Now, this is a best of 5, so there's plenty more to go. But this is kind of the new leaf we're seeing from Haz. In the past, as Roddy talked about in that introduction, we've kind of had our chuckles. We've been like, all right, this is really funny. I think of Caleras laughing himself to tears in a WCS broadcast a while ago. But now he mixes in that cheese. He does it with a lot more kind of lethality, and he's not afraid to go into a different kind of game. I'm not going to call it the long game. Nope. I'm not going to call it normal, but it's more not gimmicky, I guess is what I would say.
I think it's important to break that down a little bit, because if you don't watch StarCraft all the time, you guys may be like, man, what are you guys on about? It's really not that different what he's doing. You know, he's getting Immortals and Zealot, but every game that Haz plays is different because he's very stuck in his ways. He doesn't tech up. He stays very often on a very low gas count. His attacks, they may seem macro-oriented with 3 bases, but they are incredibly committed. He needs to win the games with those attacks that he makes. And what do we expect in this PvP? Even if it starts off normal, I still expect a lot of 2-base aggression, sometimes 1-base aggression. ShoWTimE is going to open up with the Stargate and Acid Plant, which I like. But there is one thing I wouldn't like, Jeff, and that is that if ShoWTimE opens up Oracles. Now, in this game, it wouldn't necessarily be that bad, but I feel if you play against Haz, I honestly I wouldn't recommend Oracle openings very often because Oracle versus Phoenix is an absolute disaster, and Haz is a player that loves to make Phoenixes as well. And that is a way that even ShoWTimE can put himself in a very disadvantaged position.
It is going to be Twilight Council behind this, like Roddy said. In this game, Oracles would be okay, but overall in the series, it might be a big risk.
I like the Phoenix. I think, oh, these adepts going to get in, and that means a couple of probe kills. He should be able to get 3, 4 easily. 2 already. Number 3 is going to go down, and he should be easily able to get 1 more unless he misfires. But this is ShoWTimE. He doesn't misfire. He might get the 5th one over there. Yeah, that's a free kill. Man, 5 probes. What a fantastic start.
And a full scout makes his way around there, does see the Twilight Council, so knows that he's safe to do what he wants with that Stargate. Here's the next wave of adepts as well.
You know what's crazy? He killed 5 probes and they're even on probes. How's that possible?
That's weird.
Yeah.
I got nothing. That's really weird.
Okay, he lets these 2 adepts finish up as well. He's going to be able to get at least 2. That might actually be it, but 1 adept will survive and live to tell the tale. Now, Haz is the one who has scouted with a hallucinated sentry. I kid you not. I mean, you would normally expect it to be the other way around. ShoWTimE is going to save up a few more adepts. What ShoWTimE could do, by the way, is if Haz keeps a probe on the edge, he could use the Phoenixes to lift that probe, and then he could shade those adepts into the main base as well. But he might let these adepts finish. Why not? That's a good warp in, by the way. That makes it a little bit harder, but that's a few more dead probes. This is a probe bloodbath so far.
It's a bloodbath. Now, one thing to kind of keep in mind, there is still that blink upgrade coming in. So if you lose too many adepts, that's a lot of time off that gateway. In fact, you do see a Void Ray coming out here for ShoWTimE because he is worried about the potential for that to turn into some kind of aggression. As we can see here, the production capabilities for Haz, not great. Now, he could lose. No, he's just going to take some damage here. Not bad. He's been pretty active with the gateway, so that's why the stalker count's pretty decent. But he only has 2 gateways for production, so the ability to turn this into some kind of really strong aggressive stance is very low.
Jeff, could you explain to the viewers at home what the purpose is of this sentry?
Absolutely. The sentry over here is to have a scout on the... No, I got nothing. There's no reason. I mean, like a hallucination comes in from over there, but that doesn't trick anyone. Like ShoWTimE has spent as much time in Haz's base as Haz has spent in his own base as well, so like...
Obviously, one thing you could say is that sentries are light armored units, so they get picked off by Phoenixes.
It's hiding. Okay.
Yeah, it's hiding, right? That's one thing you could say, but I guess this many Phoenixes, you really don't have to be afraid, or excuse me, with this many Stalkers, you don't have to be afraid against that amount of Phoenixes, because if he would truly dive in for the sentry, well, then you blink below it with your Stalkers and you kill 2 Phoenixes, and that's a trade that anyone would love to make. Our observer is showing us so far this has been a probe slugfest. 13 workers go down. That is not...
Oh my God,
he's going to find the sentry.
He's like, no! That was not supposed to happen! But because it's Haz, ShoWTimE's checking every corner of the map. Yeah. Like, no, I'll see it. All right, well, it sees a Void Ray, it sees the Immortal, and that's pretty bad news bears for Haz because all of a sudden those Stalkers become very defensive. So maybe they get a Phoenix or two, but only 3 Phoenix invested for ShoWTimE. It's not like this is a huge tech that he's leveraging.
I really wish we had the player cam on the moment he found that sentry because I think even ShoWTimE would have a small chuckle. He would have a small chuckle there.
Him, yes. I thought you were going to say Haz. I think Haz plays emotionless.
No, not Haz. But ShoWTimE would probably not be able to hide the smiles like what on earth is the sentry doing over here?
Oh.
It's been a pretty flawless game so far with ShoWTimE. He lost a probe and a couple of adepts, right? That's about it.
Yeah, not much. The 5 adepts are obviously a little bit costly, but you're trading those out for probes, so that's fantastic. Good information. He's playing safe. I'm a little bit more tickled pink by Haz's willingness to just say, yeah, first PvP, sure, let's play normal.
Zealot Archon, excuse me, Stalker Zealot all in, right? Maybe with Archons, but I don't think he's gonna get Archons because. I mean, now he actually does the Templar Archon. Nice timing there. I mean, I guess he does have his third and fourth. He doesn't have his gases yet, but he just hasn't been making anything else other than those initial Stalkers.
Equal in workers, by the way, as well. Yeah. As weird as that is.
He's just gonna actually for ShoWTimE to attack.
It's the worst.
Yeah. If charge finishes up, this could get very dangerous for the German Protoss because Haz has a lot of gateways finishing up as well. And if you warp in 8 Zealots with charge here, you can actually win this fight against these Void Rays and these Immortals.
You know what's kind of nice though is it's Haz that plays pretty blind. He does not see this coming until right now.
Oh, force field.
Shield battery is absolutely gone. 2 Zealots are like, alert, the forces, something's got to happen here. Blinkstalker's trying to panic it in there, but there's so much firepower already in fantastic position.
Yep, and charge is not done yet. The gateways haven't morphed into warp gates yet, so that means that Haz will not be able to get his big round of Zealots. Of course, adepts are good against Zealots as well. Jeff, I think this is going to be it for game number 1. This army of ShoWTimE with these power units, the Immortals and the Void Rays, I don't think it's going to get stopped here.
Now, pulls the probes, going to go for an angle. Templar adding their 5s of damage at a time. Not gonna do it. ShoWTimE takes the position, and with it, the win. GG is 1-0 is the score so far for ShoWTimE. This very weird PvP. I will tell you, so this is like I saw some of the comments. I was kind of checking out, what did people think of Haz's previous match? A lot of people were very much so excited about him. He's like a fan favorite, and he plays very weird. But I do need to draw attention that he's gotten here in kind of a clunky way. Like, he's not a finesse player. His micro is not very good, and I'm not saying this to be like a edgy caster that's hating. I'm more saying that when you play him, it's a mental battle. The weirdness of the build, the willingness to take risks, that's where he capitalizes. He had no information this army was moving across the map because he cuts those corners. The army shows up, it's a much more technical and advanced army, right? It's just going to be Stalkers and Zealots. But if you're receiving that force and force fields hold back your Stalkers that are trying to get on top of the Void Rays or something like that, you're just dead. The game just ends. No amount of great micro or otherwise is going to win that for you. And that's where Haz can lose games kind of cheaply.
I think it's quite funny because Haz was obviously gearing up for an attack, right? He doesn't have a Robo, he doesn't have a Forge or anything really. He just has a whole bunch of gateways. Now you can absolutely win games with just having 1 or 2 Archons, then a crazy amount of Zealots, a couple of Stalkers behind it. The Stalkers blink in a good position. They get a full volley on either an Immortal or on those 2 Void Rays in the air, and then the Zealots just clean up on the ground. So I assume that the last thing that Haz was worried about was ShoWTimE running to his side of the map and killing him. But yeah, the timing by ShoWTimE was immaculate there. Obviously, he had great information with his Phoenixes, and he knew he did a lot of economic damage early on. But it's just like, yeah, even if you go for that big gateway explosion, even if you want to get charged, it wasn't ready yet. If that attack happens 35 seconds later, as his army becomes 3 times as scary.
Well, that's what I was saying. That's in our defense. It's just kind of weird about that game because he was in the middle of the map. If charge finishes and he gets those Zealots out, I think it's actually ShoWTimE that's in a lot of trouble, but because he was so dedicated to going across the map and attacking, it was good for him. Anyways, our observer's getting really nervous here. We got to introduce these players. In the top right-hand side from Germany, 1-0 is his advantage. It's ShoWTimE. So handsome.
And this is lost and found, guys. If we don't get a cannon rush on this map, Jeff, I don't believe we're going to get cannons anymore. I'd be so sad. Of course, no. Maybe.
We're not.
Over here on the left bottom side, we're looking at the main base of the Protoss that's down 1-0. It is Haz.
It hasn't taken its gases yet.
Now, there is a chance, by the way, Jeff, that Haz was looking at the...
Well, I didn't see it.
The cheerful?
No.
That he was looking at the games between Neep and ShoWTimE.
Here we go.
And in that game...
It's a fake, though.
Yeah, ShoWTimE actually puts his probe on patrol in that very dangerous spot on the right side.
It's a fake.
Yep. No, I know. Haz is faking this, but Haz also probably knows that ShoWTimE puts his probe there to begin with, and that makes it very hard to cannon rush him here.
Yeah. So this is 3 probes not microing. This is a weird wall, which actually still functions, by the way. You can still block adepts getting in that way. So nice base design from ShoWTimE. You'll notice down there at the production tab, you're like, oh man, all that missed mining time and stuff. It doesn't really have that big of an impact. I think where it can be nice is that a player like ShoWTimE, I think oftentimes plays a lot of games very formulaically, like it's just everything goes down on time, we get to the mid game and that's where the game starts to get kind of different. But if Haz can mix it up enough and throw him off just a little bit, it can be nice. But that's neither here nor there, Roddy, to be honest with you, because ShoWTimE showed the adequate amount of fear. This is something we talked about with Artosis, right? Where if you overreact, it's really bad. If you underreact, that can be terrible. But in this case, just right. Just the right amount of react.
Yep. I mean, I just like it. I think on this map in PvP, it's always worth to have 1 probe on patrol there on the low ground, because that spot is just so freaking dangerous for cannons. Now, Haz is going for the Stargate here. Now I'm curious to see what is ShoWTimE going to do this game. Last game, I was very pleased to see him opening up with a Phoenix. I just think a Phoenix is a safer call than an Oracle, because an Oracle can get absolutely hard countered. For Phoenixes, are there some bad scenarios? Yeah, perhaps. But at the end of the day, if you open up with Phoenix, it comes down to execution. If you open up with an Oracle and you fly into a Phoenix, yeah, you can call that bad luck, but that's a risk you take as well, going for that Oracle.
Yeah, we'll have to see what he does. 3rd gateway here for ShoWTimE, and he's got that probe sneakily making its way on the left side of the map. Look out for it to warp in a pylon and make it aggressive. And this is something we're seeing kind of a new side of both ShoWTimE and I would even say Neeb here. Both of them kind of going more into this as part of their best of strategy.
This is not a fight that ShoWTimE can ever win, no matter how good the micro is. If there is a shield battery, it's a very early battery, by the way. There is a 3rd gateway, of course, in the main base. So maybe ShoWTimE is going to go for some 3-gate pressure into an expand.
Yeah, or just an all-out 3-gate pressure.
And I think Haz actually wants to get aggressive as well. He's going to go for the 3-gate. Well, he went 1-gate Stargate.
He could spot this pylon immediately.
Hey, this is, on paper, this is really good.
Okay, wow. Not bad.
On paper, this is very good for Haz, because Phoenixes are the king unit in low economic scenarios. And obviously, ShoWTimE went 3 gateways and now a robotics facility as well before he expands. And this is where the unit, the Phoenix, shines the most, because you will always be able to get economic damage done with the Phoenix. And if there's only one Nexus, that hurts so much more.
ShoWTimE shows up with the probe, sees there is no Nexus. And to your point now, I like what Haz is doing. He's actually going to throw a Phoenix across the map and go scout.
Yep.
Low ground is going to be given up here from Haz. He just has to do that. That's fine. One of the Phoenixes across the map, getting that information. But he's got enough production.
Well, actually, a sentry? Yes, that's exactly what
if that's not a sentry, you could just lose the game right there.
Yeah. So Haz scouts now, and he should know that this is not all that bad. Of course, you never want to lose a pylon and a battery. I like how ShoWTimE is just using the probe to get some high ground vision. Wow, ShoWTimE gets a prism. I'm not sure how I really feel about that.
Micro the stalkers, the mass stalkers.
Yeah, but that's against Phoenixes. Like, I honestly feel Phoenix Gateway beats just Gateway in a prism.
Yeah, I definitely agree, especially. But, I mean, if you can start focusing down the Phoenix, you only need to kill 1 or 2 of them where they stop being a big threat to the Warp Prism, I would say.
You know what's bizarre, by the way? Haz has 30 probes on 1 base. What?
So if he's on 1 base, he oversaturates. If he's on 3, he under. It makes sense. I don't know.
He's going to be able to maybe
catch the Warp Prism.
Even if he doesn't, he can get some economic damage done there.
You could pick up the Stalker. No, he doesn't get the Warp Prism, but...
he forced out a defensive warp.
Yeah, so like 3 Stalkers is no small deal.
Haz can always recall the Phoenix, by the way, guys. Even if they're on the other side of the map, that's not necessarily the end of the world. He has enough energy.
Don't robo. I actually really like the position of Haz here.
Yeah, I know. I know this feels awkward, and to people it may seem like Haz is getting contained, which he sort of is. But he also puts himself in a position where he can win the fight. Going up this ramp into shield batteries, ShoWTimE is not supposed to make this work. If I'm Haz here, I warp in a couple of Zealots as well just to tank, and then you go for it with the Phoenixes. This is a fight that Haz can really win, especially this close.
Well,
use the Phoenix.
Something of the Phoenixes, though.
Please use your Phoenixes, Haz.
It's like, you know what? That like 700 mineral and 400 gas investment over there? Nah.
He just wants to do economic damage, and he's just going to rely on force fields for now.
Okay, this gets a little bit riskier. He's going after the Stalker here back at home. Force field just means delay tactic for now. Guardian Shield, I think a bit silly. The Immortal makes this defense very good, by the way. It's going to be hard to get up there.
It's especially with force fields and still those 2 shield batteries as well. What are those Phoenixes doing? Can we take a real quick look? Okay.
Not much, Kevin. Back over the fight.
Back to the main base real quick.
Now, the Sentry's doing a good job delaying this. Actually, I think the Phoenix stay there and keep picking up probes, by the way.
Yeah, but they haven't...
The second Immortal's about to step out. This is a defend.
They haven't killed any probes, Chef. That's the point. They've only killed Stalkers, but now he's bringing them home. If he lifts up the Sentry, he can actually go down this ramp. On paper, this is really going good for Haas, guys. Haas's army is a lot more powerful, and I think there's a lot of energy on those Phoenixes as well. You can lift the Adepts, you can lift the Sentries. Haas can absolutely win this. If I'm Haas right now, I fly in, I lift the Sentries, and I run down my ramp.
I mean, I think that's an okay option. I actually don't mind him going to work over there either.
For the Sentries.
Oh, he's got the Warp Prisms low in health. It actually dies with units inside of it.
3 units were inside of it.
He does get the force field off, but even in doing so, he's just going to have to retreat here. Now, the expansion is early for ShoWTimE.
Jeff, there's so much energy on these Phoenixes. He can absolutely kill like 8 or 9 probes very quickly. How many Stalkers are at home? Not that many, right? Can we take a look at the main base? He can kill 12 probes in the blink of an eye here. This is going to be so painful for the low economy ShoWTimE already. This is insane.
Which makes the natural kind of useless, right?
Yep.
Like, it rebuilds probes faster, I guess.
There's nothing you can do
against this. No, he's down 10 plus workers. He's not getting up that ramp. I'm really surprised ShoWTimE even turned back to try it. I think he had to recall there or something.
No, that would have been
had the energy for it too. He just didn't do it.
Yep, that would have been a better play. Going up a ramp into shield batteries, into Immortals. I think ShoWTimE has pretty much given up in this game. He's hoping for a miracle force field here or two, but Haas absolutely in control of this game. Has played it well. I mean, once again, it doesn't look flawless, but the force fields, the hold at home, and then the patience in which he dealt with this and chrono boosted out the Immortals, that was freaking awesome.
4th Immortal about to come out here. And ShoWTimE is able to produce off that pylon a ways away. It's a slow warp in, but I feel like these Phoenix just hover over his mineral line forever and just constantly make this, sure, a 1 base versus 1 base, basically. But now it's the 4 Immortals, and nothing that ShoWTimE makes can deal with that, especially with a Warp Prism.
Nope, there's a lot of micro potential here for Haas as well with that Prism that almost got picked off, but the shield batteries has done an amazing job in healing up these units as well. And even if ShoWTimE is containing him, it doesn't really matter because Haas has a better economy, so, or at least he has more workers, right? So he can start long distance mining. This is only effective if ShoWTimE would have a decent probe count at home, but he doesn't.
This is I'm like entranced a little bit by how weird this is. There's the aggressive move there. The Warp Prism does end up baiting out basically the last of ShoWTimE's kind of contain attempt. And here comes Haas, and that army's going to be tough. The Phoenix going to make this even worse by picking up some units. ShoWTimE might just tap out right now. He's kind of shaking his head. He can kind of feel he's going to recall back. But the Phoenix, the Immortals, guys, this is the Golden State Warriors taking on Garfield Elementary School in Cali. That's a bad reference. I think nobody's going to get that, especially in Spain. But it's not good, Kevin. It's not good. Let me just stick to that.
You could have just said the Cleveland Cavaliers were LeBron, then everyone.
LeBron. Yeah, they know LeBron.
Yeah. But without him, that's pretty.
It's Michael Jordan against Jeff. It's me. One-on-one, backyard basketball. Not going to be good.
Yeah, this is a very strong army from Haas. Maybe a couple miraculous force fields, but even if he lands a few good force fields, there's so much HP in this army of Haas. Good job as well there by Haas.
Even if he gets the Warp Prism, it's just not enough. I don't know what the path to victory could possibly be here.
If Haas throws away his units one by one or loses the Prism with 2 Immortals inside of it, but there is an insane amount of HP on those Immortals, man, and ShoWTimE simply doesn't have the DPS to beat them down.
Nope. That's a forward pylon right there. Artos' pylon, if I've ever seen one, does die. Here come the probes, and ShoWTimE is just going to start thinking about this series as it's going to be all tied up as GG's called out, and Haas does strike back.
Yeah. Excellent hold by Haas, though. That's not easy, right? A lot of people, including myself, would absolutely keep the Phoenix at home and be like, you know what? Phoenix Gateway beats pure Gateway. I can win that.
Yeah.
But Haas said, no, you know what? I'm going to sit on top of my ramp. I'm going to rely on force fields, and I'm going to make sure that my Phoenixes do an insane amount of damage on the other side of the map. And, I mean, he got the job done there in the end because he didn't use his Phoenixes for so long. They gathered up insane amounts of energy, and then there's one moment where you have freedom to do damage. You get 12 probes in the blink of an eye.
Not bad. Always the architect of a nice battle strategy. There's that wonderful Spanish audience. Thank you guys for showing up. We are In our last semifinal, Cyril is going to await one of these two guys. And I think it's so funny because on the one hand, you have ShoWTimE. And Cyril versus ShoWTimE is an amazing poster card. It's something people have seen kind of lined up for a while. They had a great match in the Nation Wars.
Yes.
And the other potential is Cyril versus Haz. And there's somebody out there that put down like a $5 bet at the beginning of this tournament. Like, I think Haz goes to the finals. And everyone's like, you're crazy.
Yes.
And that person's about to make a bajillion dollars if this kid right here can't stop the weirdness.
I think that ShoWTimE is not somebody who gets too stirred up. You can see it, right? He's still relaxed. He's not somebody who loses his mind over a single game. I'm with you, Jeff.
Drago in the Rocky movies was really confident too, man.
He does. He does.
He does.
What would happen if he steps in the ring against somebody of Vin Diesel's family? What would happen then?
Well, even then, man. I mean, family's family, but like, Haz, dude. Who knows? Well, all right, we're heading into game number 3. We're all tied up 1 apiece. And we still haven't seen any cannons. Can we get some cotton pin cannons around here? Lower right-hand side. I don't expect it from this guy, but hopefully there's still some fans out there. It's ShoWTimE.
And this crowd in Valencia seems to be quite fond of the chatter. Your man has brought it back. We're all tied up. Valencia, make some noise for Haz. No forge.
Building another gateway, and you know,
how boring, Jeff.
It's like showing up to a Metallica concert and not getting Enter the Sandman. They're like, we're gonna play only new songs, and someone's like, no,
I feel it's
a terrible idea.
I feel it's worse than that. You can go to a Metallica concert and you got Taylor Swift. That's kind of what this feels like.
Exactly.
This is the complete opposite of what I signed up for.
Can you guys put your hands together for my friend, Tay-Tay? Let's do it! Make the noise! What's her rocker song either? Yeah, but it is like that, right? We're like,
Shake It Off? I don't know.
Yeah.
Did that one?
The best part, too, is we as commentators, I like, you already posed this question, like, new audience people. We're like, man, this guy's so cheesy and cannon rushy. Then they watch the series and they're like, nah, it's pretty normal. What are they talking about?
But to put things in perspective, we still have not seen a single Colossus this entire tournament from Haz. We haven't seen a single Disruptor. We saw 3 High Templars and they did win the game and the series.
To be fair.
He saved it up till the best moment. He is still not your standard Protoss, guys. He still plays different, and we're gonna try to do a good job in keeping a close eye on where he makes the difference. I mean, even that last game, Jeff, I don't know any Protoss that makes 31 probes on 1 base on Lost and Found. That is just so bizarre to me.
Even that's a little bit weird. I think a fun stat would be if someone could look through all of Haz's games and see if he's ever researched armor. Ever. Because in my games that I've been watching him, not a single time.
Maybe that's where things went wrong for him in the beginning of his career. You know how some people, they unbind F2 because they have a problem with it? What if Haz just unbinded the armor out?
That's just a mentality thing. He's like, I don't need to defend.
All right, so now, Jeff, this is, I think, where Haz would also like to have ShoWTimE. I still feel if this would turn into, let's say, a very normal, we both open up Blink, Stalker, Expand, we go Archon, Immortal. Haz knows that's not where he's going to beat ShoWTimE. But where he could maybe beat him are some weird Phoenix against Phoenix scenarios, you know, where you get a second Phoenix a little bit faster, or if Haz does a good job in hiding the fact that he has a Stargate, then ShoWTimE sends a Phoenix to the other side of the map. Suddenly Haz got 2 Phoenixes. Like, I don't believe this would ever be an Oracle. I'm gonna go there.
You're gonna do it?
Yeah, no chance.
All right, it's a Phoenix.
No, but this is, if I'm Haz, I would not show my Phoenix. I gamble. If I'm Haz, I hide my Phoenix, and I hope that ShoWTimE sends his Phoenix to my side of the map, and that you can then intercept it.
But if you were Haz and I were you, then I'd use your body to get to the top. You're never gonna get that reference. No. Someday you will.
What does it mean?
It's a good one. It's Ace Ventura, Pet Detective.
I still have no idea.
Great movie, American classic.
All right.
Now the 2 hallucinated Phoenixes, this is the second game we've seen that, kiss each other in the middle of the map, and they're gonna go scout.
You know, if I'm Haz here and I see the timing of the Nexus of ShoWTimE, I may think about using my gateway units to be a tiny bit aggressive as well.
Does he miss again, by the way, the Adept?
He should let him in.
Please
He's got 2 Phoenixes. Let him in. Yeah, that's fine. Just live.
let the wrong one in.
ShoWTimE is too good for that, but I think he maybe should have hide the Phoenixes there because he kind of had hovered his Phoenix
hovered them away.
Yeah. And then ShoWTimE will obviously think like, wow, I'm in the main base, and then the Phoenix show up, and then your adepts don't do anything.
Or even from the hallucinated Phoenix, if you hide them there, then all of a sudden they could think it's an Oracle, and it can kind of change the dynamic as well.
Oh, look at Haas. He goes for a very quick Twilight in a Phoenix War. This is not common at all. Let me just tell you, did that get scouted? No, right?
There's no. Is it gonna be? It's the Dark Templar too, right?
Yeah, of course, it must be.
100%.
Yep. I'm making the call.
Audience.
Oh my goodness.
If you agree, put some Roddies in the chat.
Roddy P.
Could be.
And if
ShoWTimE
does not scout the Dark Shrine until it's done, I'm also gonna go as far to say
he just dies.
But still, he's super dead.
But still,
because he has a second Stargate. For ShoWTimE, it is really important that he knows Haz is not going all out in the Phoenix War. Haz will not make a second Stargate. Yeah, of course.
That's the Janus probe, or the Janus.
For some reason.
Here, a little bit of scout going in.
Okay,
this one's going to finish.
He needs to let it finish, I think.
Yeah, he is. He is.
Oh, what is that? Oh, that's a gateway. That's a tell. That is actually a pretty big tell, because why are you making gateways in a Phoenix War?
Look at that production tab. Look at it. Todd's looking at the supply. I'm asking you to look at the production tab.
I'm keeping a very close eye on it.
It's not going to happen. It's going to be panic oracles at best.
You know what's really cool, by the way, is that like the moment that Adept Shade finished up, Has Chrono boosted out another Phoenix and be like, hey man, I'm still trying. No, that's really good, right? Those are the mind games that Has will pull off on you. That seems like a funny thing to do. Of course, if ShoWTimE takes a fight right now, he should immediately know something is up.
It might be too late?
Yeah, no, Jeff, I think it is too late.
It's going to be a lot of DTs too, right?
Is there a sentry in the natural? So what he could do is drop
no energy, he just hallucinated.
Oh my goodness. Well, he's going to put a Stalker. He makes the robo. ShoWTimE figures something is up.
It's too late.
He can Chrono Boost an Oracle, but it's only a single pylon.
It has an Artosis pylon.
One pylon is powering 2 Oracles, or 2 Stargates, guys.
The North American ladder is up on its feet as Has.
He can wipe in a sentry, maybe?
Could just walk by here in the battle.
ShoWTimE knows. ShoWTimE, the Phoenix battle doesn't matter. This is what matters. Oh my goodness.
They're making their way. They're getting blocked by a Warpin.
But that's so many Dark Templars. That's so much
Oracle queued up.
He needs more pylons and batteries.
He could just go after the robo, though. He doesn't even have to get the pylon.
No.
Yes, he needs to get the robo.
He needs to get the pylon, Jeff.
No, there's too many. There's more being made.
Jeff, he needs to get the pylon. I think Has is going to lose. I think it's a little bit too late.
Oh, ye of little faith.
Sick crisis man. Don't let one Oracle tag everything.
He splits them up.
Oh my goodness.
He splits them up. Two still get revealed, but there's not enough DPS here. There's nothing back at home. He can actually pull them back.
Does he?
One DT's on the middle line. Look at the production tab. There's more Oracles coming out, but there's nothing else.
Oh my god. ShoWTimE has lost 28 probes already. There's DTs in the natural as well.
I think it's it.
Oh my god.
Dark Templar takes so much intelligence, so much skill. I've been saying it for years.
There is another Oracle coming out, but Has once again is splitting up those DTs.
He's down to 14 workers.
Sick. Absolutely sick.
And the game itself shudders as DTs crawling all over this nerd. You got that one, but there's 4 others.
Yep. And how many Oracles is
Wow. Oh, GG's called out. And Has is 1 game away from upsetting his way through an entire WCS stop and getting to the finals.
This is unreal, Jeff.
Does the hype train stop there, by the way? Can I just say this?
I don't want to think about it yet.
Does Feral lose to this?
I don't want to think about it yet, but...
Oh my god.
This is a very risky play once again by Has. This is the kind of stuff that we talk about when he's not your ordinary Protoss player. A lot of people always think like, you can just build a Dark Shrine in a Phoenix War and win. Normally that doesn't work because your opponent picks up on the fact that you have less Phoenixes.
It works against me every time.
If they catch a glimpse of the Twilight Council, they will immediately know where this is going. And ShoWTimE knows
ShoWTime's like the picture. He's like the different stages of remorse. You can see he's like chuckling to himself. Then he kind of cries. He massages his head. He's like, what's happening? Wow. Can you imagine too? This is such an important performance for ShoWTimE. Like he's actually had, kind of a rougher year for his standard. Gets to this stage, and then Has is over here just like, if I can just squeeze out a few more cannons and a couple more DTs, I'll bank for myself. What is second place? It's 1,400 WCS points. As Todd was crunching the numbers on the desk, which I vastly appreciate. Yes. It gets him to 7th place. Isn't it the top 8 that go to BlizzCon?
Yes, and don't forget that, of course, we've got... I mean, if he makes it to the final, I think Haas is almost there already, by the way. He got so many points for making it to the final. And Haas already has a lot of points because he wins Challenger very often in his region.
So he gets a few more.
Which you get like 200 points for. Then you get seeded into the round of 32 in Montreal, where he gets 100 points for as well.
You're right.
So it's safe to say that if he would even just make it out of the group stage in Montreal, he's going to be there for sure. But what if he just wins this event, Jeff?
Well, guys, I'm going to leave that with you for just a hot minute. We're going to take a quick commercial break and get a bucket of water to douse on that fiery nerd there has. We'll be right back. Welcome back, everybody. We are in the last semifinal before we get to that glorious final. The planet's Earth. The time is now. Your casters are Roddy and Jeff, and the games are weird. Haz is up 2-1 in this darkest timeline, and ShoWTimE is supposed to be making his way to a glorious top foreigner versus top foreigner amazing final. If only this Haz guy would get out of the way, but he just won't. He's beaten a laser. He's beaten Special, Nurchio, Callizer, and now he's got ShoWTimE minced up on his plate, looking for the snack.
When it comes to miraculous runs, Jeff, I can't even think of a more surprising potential finalist than that man. Like, I honestly did not see this coming in a million years. Either way, guys, here we go. The map is Redshift. That's a great map for that crazy Protoss, but for now, we're looking at the main base of the Mauer himself. It is Has. ShoWTimE.
That one's ShoWTimE. But who cares? He's about to die.
Greatest
Has a probe outside of the map. He's built the forge. Get excited. This is what I've wanted for 2 series. Spain, you guys got some spicy food. You got some hot weather. You're about to have a Taiwanese Protoss player sneak some cannons through a mineral line into a guy's face. This game's over.
We missed that.
That's another probe to sell it.
ShoWTimE does not know about the other probe. On Redshift, you can bump your probe through the gold mineral lines with a little trick. And ShoWTimE is aware of this, I'm sure, but he's not checking for it. And that could be
oh my God.
So damn painful. I cannot believe this, Jeff. Jeff, which timeline is this?
I'm so happy. The darkest one.
No, it's darker than dark.
He's gonna beat Cyril after this. There's the hot scoop. And now he knows. He cancels the gateway. Because he has to know. He's scouted across the map.
Yeah, but the cannon is pretty much up. You can't do anything about that cannon anymore. So what do you do right now if you're ShoWTimE? And Jeff, I don't even know. Once the cannons are already going up,
I mean, you might just tap out.
In range, maybe you build a Nexus somewhere else. Is that your best call?
He's got a Cybernex core about to finish, so he's going to try to sneak out some Stalkers.
You got to be careful with your minerals. Because
hold back this. He's got to save money for a Nexus somewhere else. Yeah, this Nexus is dead. No matter how fast you build these Stalkers, they're not going to take... Well, okay, if Has wants to get weird about it. I mean, he already got weird
I actually would have liked to see that cannon finish up. Or maybe he thought it wasn't in range. I mean, it was far away. All right.
There's the Nexus already.
So ShoWTimE is forced to rebuild this Nexus in the right side of the map because you can't really rebuild the Nexus anymore, or you can't really save it once the cannons already go up.
Cybernetics core already for Has.
Stargate. Where's that Stargate being built for ShoWTimE? Is that in the main base? What? Okay.
Why not? It would take a lot to get cannons over to that pylon. Look at Has already scouting. This guy's the god of cannon rushing.
Is he going to cannon that base as well, Jeff?
Yes. Every base from now until the end of time, Roddy, of course. He even wanted to... What? Why are you stealing the gas? That's actually so smart. He has a Stargate. He now can't use it because he's mining off of the 1 gas. And when this Nexus die, it's actually 0 gas, Roddy.
But there is enough gas to at least build 1 air unit.
Kevin.
Yes.
Forget about it. One's not going to do it.
Let's not jump the gun too.
I'm jumping all the guns. Has is going to win BlizzCon. Tell me how Maru deals with this. He can't.
We'll see about that. There is an Oracle on the way. Has is building another cannon. Is this cannon in his main mineral line? Can we
stop the warp gate upgrade? Can that do anything for you? Gets you 100 gas.
Where's the cannon of Has? It's in his main mineral line?
Actually gets you another 150. Cancel the warp gate upgrade. Do it.
Jeff, if he doesn't get a shield battery or a cannon in his main mineral line, this Oracle could deal a lot of damage.
I think he sees it. The Oracle's flying past Has stuff. Maybe not, though.
I think, where's that battery? It's in the mineral line, indeed. That Oracle is...
He can pull over... No, he can pull over to the cannon. He'll lose some probes.
Yeah, of course. But that's nice. If ShoWTimE just gets a couple workers here, don't forget that ShoWTimE's warp gate is actually finishing up. ShoWTimE's warp gate is finishing up, Jeff. So... He can recall the workers, he can transfer the workers, and there you have it. A couple pros will go down. If ShoWTimE can get 4 or 5 workers here, that would be amazing. I think it's just going to be 2 for now. A little bit of lost mining time.
Warp gate finishing up for our other Protoss player here as well.
Jeff, it's not over yet, because warp gate has finished up.
I'm right now subscribing to Haz's channel.
Yes.
I am pulling out my shirt and I'm going to write Has is the best on this.
Now the one downside of the build of the base, that ShoWTimE has taken on the right side is that Has can have units on the high ground, right? Can we take a look at this main base of ShoWTimE? Stalkers can be on the high ground. They will be in range of probes of that mineral patch. So this is very annoying. ShoWTimE is probably going to need to use this high ground as a staging ground. He probably needs to get a pylon there, maybe even a battery.
Oh, no.
Because if he gives up the high ground, he gives up a part of his mineral line. That is a massive pickoff, by the way. That is insane. Because that's no proxy warp gate now. And I think Has wanted to 4-gate.
Did he lose the Cybernetics core already?
ShoWTimE?
Yeah.
Nope.
Not yet. He's already rebuilding
it anyway.
Yeah.
I actually kind of like it for ShoWTimE, Jeff.
Well, I don't like that he killed his own pawn at that time, but... You like it for ShoWTimE,
Yes, I actually like it for ShoWTimE.
You're a hater. I'm on the Artosis fan bus as well here. I mean, I can't believe he called this out. Sure, it was his 3rd prediction in the tournament, and it was, you know...
He has to fix his gas, by the way. One of his probes is taking the long route to the north side, so he's actually losing a little bit of gas income.
It's signature Has, I think.
House, you gotta be careful here. ShoWTimE has a lot of stalkers already at this point, and ShoWTimE has a battery to fall back on as well. Man, hasn't ShoWTimE handled all of this with a lot of calm? Those are slow warp-ins, by the way, but I guess Has is just gonna fight it for now. Ooh, but at least ShoWTimE knows.
Yeah.
ShoWTimE needs to get a few more defensive warp-ins himself, but...
No, it's actually pretty good for ShoWTimE. He's got the shield barriers to fall back onto. 3 gateways.
Has, this is not a fight you ever want to take. Your opponent's got batteries, man. No matter how good your micro may or may not be, you're not going to win this fight. This is not a fair fight.
Reacts really, really well. He already had a game plan. Now he's actually, I would say, massively ahead.
So I am Mr. Phoenix, as many of you guys know, but I don't think this is a good Phoenix moment. Your opponent already has so many stalkers. The bases are saturated. You're not looking at 18, 19 probes. We've got 26 probes, and ShoWTimE already has a lot of stalkers. I don't think this is a good moment to build Phoenixes at all.
I think it's okay. I don't disagree with you that it's not like the best time, but you have that gold base you can kind of fall back onto, and getting stalkers up a ramp is really difficult. Now, the stalkers could shut down the gold base, but if your Phoenix get to a certain number...
Is the Oracle still alive? No, right?
I think it was.
Okay, so maybe that's the main reason he just wants to... But I mean, that's a lot of... That's a big investment to deal with a single Oracle. You build the Stargate, you build a Phoenix as well. These adepts are going to be found as well. Man, ShoWTimE, what a way. Talking about crisis management, holy hell, like I would panic.
With his back up against the wall. He loses as he's out.
Yep, tournament life is on the line and he somehow handles it. He looks at those cannons, he knows what to do, he gets his target in the back of his main. Warp Gate somehow finishes up. And I think that was honestly one of the biggest deals. I think that Has could have done more in preventing Warp Gate from finishing up.
Yeah. Especially, you start with not listening to that in control nerd who's like, cancel Warp Gate. It's like, no, that'd be a terrible idea. I love ShoWTimE's expansion timing here as well. You can't get much more done with the stalkers, and even if you try to lean into that, it becomes risky again. A good defense, a force field here, and all of a sudden you're in trouble. But instead, just go ahead and expand.
Hey, you could build a pylon there to rip out the gate.
He's okay.
Yeah, I know.
He doesn't need that one for now.
So, ooh, that's a lot of damage.
I mean, every time we look at Has on the screen, he's losing Adepts, he's losing Stalkers, he's losing the Phoenix. This is adding up. He's behind in workers, his army is behind.
Now, a composition that is very good against Stalkers, especially against Stalkers that don't have Blink. I guess that Phoenix picked up the Oracle, which is nice, but he lost the Phoenix in the process. Now, Phoenix Immortal is very good, but the Stalker count is already freaking high.
Yeah.
And losing Phoenixes is really not something that can ever be part of that plan.
And the expansion timing, again, just to go back to that, is really, really good. I mean, it's just going to be on huge saturation. So by the time there's any number of scary Immortals and this expansion kicks in, we're going to be talking about 2 fully saturated bases, maybe 5, 6 gateways, Immortals of his own.
I am so impressed with the crisis management of ShoWTimE. Like we said, tournament life is on the line. You get surprised cannon rush. You see the cannon by the time it finishes up. And he made all the correct calls. And did Has make mistakes? Sure, absolutely. But I'd rather focus on all the things that ShoWTimE did right, because it is so easy to, in a split moment, pull your probes and attack the cannon and just lose everything and be out. Be done.
The style of the cannon rush, he threw out a decoy probe. This is the first cannon rush he's done in this whole series.
Oh my goodness, that's...
The cannon is already finished by the time ShoWTimE knows he's being cannon rushed, and yet he reacted this well.
Phoenixes have not been very successful.
What are they doing, actually? I'm trying to figure out what he's trying to accomplish. It's like, you got Stalkers over here? You got Stalkers over here? Whoa! It just lost one. All right.
So Has is down 11 workers, and yes, he is going to take the gold, and maybe eventually he can get charged himself. The problem is, if ShoWTimE positions his army on this side of that mineral line, what is Has going to do about this? He cannot use his gold, I think.
Well, Immortals, I guess, but...
ShoWTimE is going to have Immortals too, though.
That force field is a force field.
Yep.
All right.
Thing is, like, you can run back and forth, and I don't think Has can use this base.
I think the funniest thing about this, too, for me, though, is that this whole time Has wasn't making probes while expanding.
Oh, okay.
Well, that's kind of cute. Oh, and he gets the Warp Prism, or he doesn't.
He's going to lift the Stalker here. That's kind of nice. You could use the Phoenix to lift the Stalker. So Has will finally be able to get some pretty serious economic damage done here.
It's like Kevin.
Yeah.
I'm going to give him 10 more probes, and he will just be equal in workers.
No, I know. It's absolutely
so bad.
Warp Prism is here now from ShoWTimE as well, which means ShoWTimE too can juggle some units back and forth.
That's not sure I would have cut away at that moment, personally. The Immortal trying to do what it can, but there's 2 Immortals of ShoWTimE. Now, keep in mind, this base is just not mining. And the workers lost for Haz is already bad. He's at 23 probes. He keeps trying to mine. It's just not going to happen.
This gold base is a trap, Jeff.
Yeah.
It's a freaking trap.
It can be.
That Phoenix is going to get picked up as well. GG, ShoWTimE shows us why he has won tournaments in the past. And he has already made it to a WCS finals this year, man. What an amazing way to stay calm and composed and make all the correct calls, because he was one bad decision from literally being eliminated of the tournament.
The many faces of ShoWTimE throughout this series, that's a gift waiting to happen. I do have to say, tip of the hat to Haz before finishing off this best of 5 and making his way to the finals. He was like, you know what? The fans want a cannon rush. I'll give them a cannon rush. He's going to go back into his low econ madness play in game number 5 here and not make any cannons as ShoWTimE continues to descend further and further into madness.
I think he could have cannoned the Neo Natural of ShoWTimE. ShoWTimE really didn't have any units there. I think if you throw up 2 cannons there, I don't think there's enough DPS to deal with it, because he couldn't recall yet. Instead of stealing the gases, but...
And then ShoWTimE sends the Stalkers from home to go help with that cannon rush and hits another cannon rush mid-map. Because Haz knew that was going to happen.
Cannons.
4 pylons and a wall of cannons. He's like, excuse me?
What a game.
You pre-cannoned the middle of the map?
Very, very impressed with the way that ShoWTimE handled that. And obviously, I think it helped so much that he was allowed to get Warp Gate there in the end. Yeah. Because otherwise, indeed, Haz 4-gates him. And obviously finding that probe as well, right? Because that first pylon was in the right bottom side. If he gets a warp gate there, Haz that is, then he gets rapid warp-ins, then he can start getting high ground advantage. And then suddenly the fact that ShoWTimE has a couple shield batteries there becomes a lot less effective, because he has to run up a ramp every single time he wants to fight. So ShoWTimE was on the verge of being eliminated more than once in that game. But man, showed us why he's a champ.
What a fun series it's been. What a great weekend of StarCraft we've had so far. And we're not even done. After this, there's going to be somebody taking on Cyril for their stake at trying to stop him from being a 3-time champion. But here we are, game number 5. As we introduce the players on Dreamcatcher, the lower right-hand side from Germany, equalizing the score, it's your ShoWTimE.
And in the left top side of Dreamcatcher, looking at the main base of our Mad Protoss, it is Haz.
Let's see what he's doing here. There is going to be a gateway and just fairly normal plays so far.
But well, is it though? Is it though? So what I think we're going to see here, full off. Yep. And I think he wants, I mean, that already makes it tricky for ShoWTimE, right, to figure it out.
Yeah.
I think it's just going to be a Phoenix opening from Haz, but he wants to do it in the greediest way possible, where he could potentially, you know, get a very safe Nexus. He doesn't have to get that pylon and the battery on the low ground like we see him do every single time when he wants to get a Nexus. So this allows him to get a safer Nexus. He has less to worry about, and he can perhaps play a greedier version of that Phoenix play.
That's nice, Kevin. It's too bad you're wrong. It's going to be a full wall off. Take the gold base.
It's possible.
Kaboom!
Anything is possible.
Anything is possible. Now, ShoWTimE's going to show up here. He sees the strange forward wall in. And equal scouting coming out from Haz. Sees the normal stuff from Mr. ShoWTimE.
If I'm ShoWTimE, I go back to how I approached game 1. You know, with the Phoenix, I thought it was very, very safe and solid. And of course, you guys can say, but on Catalyst, he lost with the Phoenix. Well, Haz took a massive risk there. He has around a 90-second window of, if ShoWTimE scouts it at any given moment, he gets a robo, he gets an observer, observer is in place, DTs don't do anything.
You're ahead in Phoenix.
Yep, and then you kill all the other Phoenixes because he doesn't have enough, and then obviously some people think like, well, then you've got Archons, that's okay. The problem is you're still going to lose 20 probes at home against the Phoenixes of your opponent. Haz took a massive risk on Catalyst, but it did pay off in a big way, but that is not something you pull off twice.
Oh, because the probe, he did not want to show it off.
I guess.
And I think he's actually leaving his probe. No, the probe's coming across the map. He was actually waiting to see what came off the gateway for a minute there.
I wonder. Okay, he's going to rebuild it. This does mean that his target is a tiny bit later.
And he lost some resources, to be honest with you, as well.
No, absolutely. This was nice for Haz.
Just in the name of trying to hide it, here come those adepts.
Oh, this is one of those games where you really can't slip on closing the door in time, right?
Yes. Keep your eye on the probe, by the way, for Mr. ShoWTimE of the top of the map.
It's not in position. Has doesn't open up with 2 adepts very often. This is not something that has done so far in this series or even in some of his other games, but he's going to be able to get into the main base.
There's nothing here.
And if he just gets 3 probes, that is massive in a Phoenix War. Oh my goodness,
he's going to get more
Jeff.
than 3, Kevin. We're already starting to see it happen here. Now there's some kind of battle going on at the front of Haas's base, but so many probes are dying. There's the Stalkers. 6.
Oh my goodness.
7.
Jeff,
8.
Your timeline.
I can count to 9. He gets it. He gets 9 as well.
He gets 10.
I can't count that high, Kevin. I had to stop. That's it. And he sees Phoenix coming out.
How do you win a Phoenix battle if you lose 10 probes?
16 workers to 28.
To a couple. Yeah, the 28 is like that's overkill anyway. But ShoWTimE is right now lacking 5 probes in his main. That is the biggest problem. How do you come back from this? I have no idea what ShoWTimE is supposed to do. He's going to get another gateway. ShoWTimE is going to go all in.
Just warping in units.
He's going to put it all on the line. He's going to go for a 3-gate shield battery rush.
I like it. This is his best chance. Does that pylon see that low ground?
Let's take a look. Can we take a look at the vision of Haas real quick?
No. Oh, yeah. Wow. That's weird.
Yeah, it got revealed because he healed up.
So now he does have a Phoenix to spot the high ground, but there's going to be more Phoenix for Haas, so he can kill that pretty easily.
Oh, my God. Jeff.
You don't think so?
I don't.
You don't believe?
I love ShoWTimE, and I think he's capable of great things, but I just don't see how you can run up this ramp over and over again into shield batteries, into a better economy, and into Phoenix Gateway.
Another sentry here as well, I believe, so he can kind of lock these units in.
I have no idea what ShoWTimE is supposed to do. Maybe you can take care of that piling. No, you can't even warp in the depths.
He can pick up half the army, can he?
Yeah, force fields will go down.
Pretty bad force fields.
If I'm a Haas, by the way, I'd like to use my Phoenixes eventually in this fight. There we go.
It is.
That is actually one Phoenix very exposed, takes a lot of damage. ShoWTimE somehow making a lot happen with very little at this point.
Army supply is pretty equal. Tech advantage is still strongly in Haas's favor.
On powers a gateway. Snipes the Phoenix. ShoWTimE is actually getting some really good trades up to this point, Jeff.
Control here kind of backfiring for Haas.
He's using his own Phoenix as well. That one Phoenix is dealing a lot of damage to the Phoenixes of Haas.
Now we're down here to the shield batteries. I think fighting on the low ground there for ShoWTimE is favorable. Sentries have much lower DPS as well.
Can we take a look at the units lost? ShoWTimE has traded phenomenally there. Like, other than the 2 adepts that has killed everything. We got 2 Stalkers, 2 Phoenix.
I still feel like he's a good force field or 2 away from just flat out losing this game.
Yeah, I still don't love it.
But he keeps missing force fields. And in doing so, the sentries become a little bit dead weight. They either go from like winning the game to maybe losing it.
I almost feel like, okay,
that's a better one. It traps 1 Stalker.
Yeah, but he got the other one as well, right? He got the kill. Haas, you want to use your units now on the other side. I feel like the Sim City is almost working against Haas at this point.
He's had to reinforce it, I guess. There's a Void Ray shows up, though, and that might just be lights out. How do you crack the Void Ray in this position? There's so much shield battery behind it.
Yeah, but the Stalkers do
another one on the way, by the way. No, that's actually what exists.
Haas needs to transfer his probes, by the way. Oh my goodness, Haas can be 3 times as rich as he actually is. He's got all the probes in his main. That's so painful, Jeff.
Well, it is, but he's still so far ahead, Kevin. I can't see it.
He is, but that's a very big mistake. He's getting 4 more gateways now as well. Why? Where? And now he's blocking his own minerals with that extra battery too. Use your mineral patches.
I guess he knows the whole game just kind of ends here. There's the transfer of probes. Stalker still doing what they can. A second Void Ray about to join this.
Oh, that Void Ray is very exposed, by the way. The Stalkers can have a lot of... He's going to go for the Void Ray. Gets a big volley off on it. Still has his own Phoenix. I don't know about Void Rays, man. They're clunky, slow units. They're very powerful, but...
a lot of shield battery in the low ground.
Yeah. What a way to finish off this second semifinal. Are you kidding me, Jeff? This
is the picture of a Haas game, right? Let's look at this. We're like... 2 Protoss boys is trying to get a win here. There's a good attack. It seems like we're going to commit. The 1 Void Ray pulls back. It does get focused down. Second Void Ray. It is clunky, like you said. Oh, it just gets regenerated. Still a good Stalker count here in the low ground.
Still a good trade for ShoWTimE. He lost a couple Stalkers, but he gets a Void Ray and he gets a whole bunch of Zealots as well. But the problem is he doesn't have an expand. His main base is going to run out. Gets the Sentry there.
It cost him a Stalker, but the Sentry's a big deal. Okay, Warping of Zealots, that's not going to help you very much. 1 Void Ray steps too far forward. Can ShoWTimE pick this apart? Here comes another Void Ray. The Phoenix is going to get picked off. And now the firepower of ShoWTimE starting to kind of melt a little bit here.
Now he gets another Stalker there. ShoWTimE, is he making the impossible possible here?
He's going up the ramp really aggressively, but he might just be able to do it.
More sentries again. Like you said, you're still
He just needs to land these force fields. He does land it. 4 Stalkers stuff up here. Is that going to close the door on this Haas? is gunning down the Stalkers. The Void Ray remains strong. Shield barriers on the high ground might just have sealed the deal. 30 supply to 46. He's gonna come back up the ramp, but he's just lost so many Stalkers. He can't do it, Kevin. He can't.
I mean, the problem is that right now Haas has a tough time really killing a unit, right? Like, what does he have to kill a unit? He can only kind of run back and forth. But that is obviously good for Haas because he has a way better economy.
So even if he can't go down there,
he should I think he should take another gas and just rely on those force fields. Like, he just, after those great force fields, he lost 4 units by now.
And you got to pull the sentries back. If he loses the sentries, he won't have force fields anytime soon at all. His gas count's really low. All of a sudden, Kevin, your point about the Void Rays might be very true, right? Like, that could have been several more waves of sentries, and you lock in these units. That's it. The shield bearers in the low ground don't save you.
The economy of Haas is so much better, though. Can we get the income graph for a split second just to see? I mean, Haas is feeling very confident now. He's basically having twice the income.
The whole game.
Well, not the whole game. He didn't saturate his base.
A lot of it, anyways. And now the Army's starting to kind of equalize, and I really feel like ShoWTimE has made this an incredible battle and has, with a few mistakes, almost threw this away, but he needs to throw away a lot more and make a few more mistakes.
The Stalker count is so freaking high now for Haas. He's got high ground vision as well. He can still throw away Zealots. ShoWTimE, he knows that if he expands, he's going to lose the game. He simply cannot do it.
You can see it in his shoulders, Kevin. He's sitting back. The reality settling in. He loses the Phoenix for the high ground spotting. Now he has to go up the ramp if he wants to see anything at any time. He's kiltering back and forth. He's just now realizing JG Haas is on his way to the finals.
Unbelievable.
Can you believe this guy?
I cannot.
I don't think anybody can. He's going to walk across the stage. Holy cow, he wins 3-2. And he set himself up to take on Serral. And my gut instinct says, forget about it. But I mean, that's what people have been saying this whole time. Haas is an incredibly fun player to watch, and he's able to do it again here.
What a run.
Wow. What absolutely amazing.
A run by Haas.
Well, we're going to throw it to the stage. Sue's got some people on stage, and I want to hear from this Haas guy. Take it away, Sue.
Congratulations, Haas. With this victory, you are in the grand finals for the first time in WCS in your StarCraft 2 career. What does this mean for you?
第一次进冠亚军，就在 WCS 进冠亚军，这对你来说代表了什么？
我觉得我的练习是值得的。
Practice pay off.
Practice pays off. Indeed, it did, because your run at this event has just been outstanding. You've defeated so many amazing players. Tell us, how do you come up with these strategies? Because they're absolutely insane.
就是说你这次赢了这么多这么猛的人，然后就是说你这次赢了这么多这么厉害的人，那你是怎么想到这些战术的？这么疯狂的战术？
其实我都是打我天梯用的套路，因为我天梯的胜率还蛮高的，所以我觉得我应该可以打赢这些人。
He's just playing the strategy that he think on ladder, so yeah.
Well, the strategies are paying off because you've defeated so many championship caliber players. You have one player left to face. If you want to become a champion, a WCS champion, it's Serral, the best non-Korean player in the world right now. Do you think you can take him down?
你觉得你可以打赢 Serral 吗？
我觉得我的胜算只有3成。
I think it's only 30% win rate against Serral.
30% win rate. Well, we'll see what happens. Congratulations again, Haas. Fantastic performance from you. It's going to be the grand finals between Haas and Serral coming up next for you guys. Nathanias, back to you.
And so it came to pass that the dark prophecy of Artosis would spin us into a world of chaos, photon cannons, and dank Templar. Ladies and gentlemen, Haas moves on to the grand finals. And none of us can believe what we've seen here this weekend. A hell of a StarCraft tournament, gentlemen.
I am borderline speechless here, Nathan. I can't believe what I've just seen. This is the world that we live in now. Haas, a grand finals in the WCS. He seems to do whatever he wants and make it work. And he is, I mean, he's about to go to the grand final against Serral. It is going to be the madness of Haas against the final boss, like just the ultimate regular Zerg. Like, Cyril is a regular Zerg. He's just insanely good.
He is that final boss, as you mentioned.
Yeah.
One of those ones where you think you've beaten him, but he has that second health bar that pops up, Todd.
Yeah. He has a phase 2.
Yeah. How do these two match up? Do they match up? I don't know.
I mean, they're gonna have to, right?
I wasn't prepared for this segment.
Nobody was, I think, except Haz, apparently. Like, and he mentioned it, hard work pays off, and I feel like that's very important to note. Like, he's been around this whole time. He's been playing in these tournaments, just not performing. He stuck through it. He stuck through the hard times, and I guess now the good times come around, and his practice is all paying off at once. Kept the same style, refined his build orders, and boy, did it pay off in some of these games. Like, we could really see how crafty it is, how hard he must work on his build orders, because they worked just perfectly in so many of these games.
It's crazy to think about, because we had a similar conversation back in Austin not too long ago where Cyril made it to the grand finals and we weren't surprised, but another shocking, Mana came out of nowhere, stormed his way through the bracket, made it to the grand finals, and now Haas.
And another guy that was around for some time and that was underperforming for sure as well. So it's really cool to see that. Haas came into this tournament with almost no global final hopes. He was like between rank 25 and 30. He's now in 7th position. He's already in that top 8. Damn. That is surreal to think about. He could be going to BlizzCon here if he keeps on doing so well. If he wins here, obviously he's guaranteed to go, but even if he loses there, he'll have another chance in Montreal to score some more points. That is insane.
Just crazy. The bracket is complete for our WCS Valencia tournament. Ladies and gentlemen, your grand finalists are Cyril and Haas. Probably, well, one of them seemed to, sure, right? Like, Cyril was so good, no one could stop him. And the other one was the guy that's like, every turn, we all just kind of laughed. We're like, yeah, Artosis, you're funny, but he's not going to get there. Even when we're backstage, Artosis is like, well, I said top 4. I didn't say he'd make it to the finals.
There's been a few streaks that haven't been broken in this tournament, Nate. Haas has faced cocky player after cocky player after cocky player. They've all been confident. They've all had a little bit of a smile going, all right, Haas. Like, yeah, good job getting this far, but it ends here. No, Haas keeps climbing the tower. He keeps going through each and every boss room, and now he's at the top. And Cyril is another cocky guy. Does it end here, or does the miracle happen?
Might be the craziest, one of the craziest StarCraft 2 tournament results ever if Haas was to find a way to squeeze this one out. Ladies and gentlemen, coming up after the break, the grand finals, it's Cyril versus Haas.